Okay, so in my last video, I was talking about acrylic paints going bad and how they will just dry up in the tube if you don't use them. I also said that I might be able to rescue some of these with water or medium, so I thought, let's give it a try. This is the most savable, I believe, so I'm going to start with that one. Okay, so got some here. I'm going to stir it up real well and scooch some over. Just going to get some water, stir it around a bit. So it's really separating. It's kind of congealing even more with just the water. Actually, that's smoothing out. Look at that. Well, not bad. Still a little thick for what this paint usually is. So I'm going to try a little bit more water. That paint's definitely savable. Okay, now we're going to try some gloss medium. This is highly unscientific. I'm just going to drop some in there. Maybe not quite half and half. A little more paint than gloss medium. Oh, lovely. Lovely. So it was much easier to mix up with the gloss medium. It went more quickly. It's probably better to use this than the water in the long run. I don't exactly know the science of it. If someone does, please feel free to leave it in the comments section. But I do know that acrylic paint has polymers in it, and the gloss medium, I believe, has the same polymers. It's made of the same stuff the paint is made of, basically. And if you mix it with the gloss medium, I'm going to also go out on a limb and say I think it's going to last longer. Now this has got some nice body in it. The water one is more flat. That's really quite pretty. All right. So let's just do a little test and see how this dries. There's the water. There's the gloss medium. You can see the gloss medium is thicker without being chunky and weird, for lack of a better word. By the way, if you don't have a groovy water jar, I recommend this one. It's got a little screen at the bottom, so it scrapes the paint off of your brush, keeps your brush more clean. Okay, I have zero high hopes for this next test, but let's try it anyway. So water and sorry, I'm not cleaning out that water. So I'm using greenish water for this. Lumpy McLumberson. Again, this is taking quite some time to mix up. It's still very lumpy and congealed. So frankly, unless I was desperate for this color and couldn't mix it, I wouldn't go through all this. I just wouldn't. So I'm not saying the water won't work, but I do not feel like mixing anymore. I'm moving on to the gloss medium. Spread that out a little bit and add a whole lot in there. So it's coming together, literally. Literally coming together, but it's taking forever. Again, unless I really had to have this color and couldn't mix it, I wouldn't bother doing all this. I'd be much more apt to use it straight from the tube in a cool sculptural way than I would be to try and de-lumpify this. But for the fun of it, well, actually, neither one of these are that bad applying them. You can see the gloss medium is thicker without being chunky, and they look pretty lumpy, but they're going on fairly smooth. I mean, unless you really hate to have brush strokes in there, then you wouldn't want to do this at all. I happen to like to see brush strokes. And just for the hell of it, just for the smell of it, Diet Coke. Let's try this. Now that cheap AF dollar store paint that was yucky, lumpy, really smoothed out nicely with water, which is not to say it's good paint. The pigment load is definitely, as a matter of fact, really low, which means there's not a lot of pigment in it. But I've enjoyed using it for certain applications if I need, a very translucent paint. Look at that. Wow, very impressive. So yeah, here's the final results. The gloss medium paint is thicker because the water watered the paint down more. It's thinner. So my recommendation is, if you're going to save paints, use the gloss medium, and I'll put a link to it in the comments or description below. All right, that's it. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you've rescued paints before and what works for you.